Goddamn Tony. And we're not talking about the goddamn pizza place down the street. We're talking about goddamn Tony Fauci. Walks back comment about the U.S. no longer being in a pandemic phase. I talked about this yesterday. First of all, anyone that thinks Anthony Fauci is intelligent, I'm sorry, you're a fucking lunatic. Second of all, anyone that thinks Anthony Fauci is giving you honest information, you're a fucking lunatic. Third of all, anyone that thinks the CDC or any part of the White House, right, is being truthful in any capacity about COVID, you're a fucking moron. You're a fucking idiot. If you believe anything the CDC or the White House or Dr. Fauci are telling you at this point, you are garbage. What they have done is adopted Koch brother Heritage Foundation, fucking pro-capital, pro-Trump. The CDC under Biden is basically the CDC under Trump. Nothing has changed. Let's be honest. If you were against the CDC during the Trump administration, correct. You had the correct outlook. Now, if you are in favor of the CDC under the Biden administration, after they've done objectively worse things under the Biden administration, they have done worse things. They've covered up the current fifth wave or sixth wave, whichever one we're on now, right? They tried to cover up Omicron, right? Remember December 21st, right before, as Omicron was surging, they were like, Omicron's no big deal. It's mild. Remember that conspiracy theory that was floated down from the White House, from the CDC? That was in their marketing and messaging campaigns. Let's just everyone pretend Omicron is mild. Then we found out it was worse than the original. Then we found out it was almost as bad as Delta. But it's just mild. Everyone went to work thinking, oh, it's mild. There's nothing to worry about. And then they're fucking dead. 1 million cases a day, 3,000 deaths a day. And what is Fauci saying? Oh, let's just go back to normal. And then people are like, what the fuck, bro? Whoops! Goddamn, Anthony Fauci has been in public, has been a public kind of like, you know, communicator of medicine for decades. For fucking decades. This guy has been in front of televisions, giving interviews, answering questions. And you're telling me, like, that this guy is still making all these kinds of mistakes? You're telling me that this is just a lack of media training? You're telling me that Dr. Fauci has our best interest at heart? He's just a goofball and he doesn't know how to speak properly? He knows what he's doing. He knows his marching orders. He knows who's paying him to do what he's fucking doing. And he went out there and said the pandemic phase is over. And then people were like, whoa, what the fuck? Sorry. We're not ready for that level. The pandemic is still fucking here, jackass. If no one yelled at him yesterday and the day before over these comments, he wouldn't have walked them back. The only reason he's walking them back is because it's so obviously preposterous that most Americans are like, huh? Now, again, I just want to be very clear to draw myself as a distinction from the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world. They hate Fauci for different reasons. They hate Fauci because he's the public messenger of medicine in this country. That's it. They don't hate him because of him making marketing or messaging mistakes. They don't hate him because he was peddling misinformation about COVID not being airborne. They don't hate him for any logical scientific reason. They hate him because he is the avatar of medicine, and they hate medicine. So I want to be very clear. If you're a right-winger who hates Fauci, we are not the same. You are a dumb fuck. You are a loser. You are a lunatic. Go fuck yourself. Now, with that being said, let's read this article. This is from the New York Post. I love to see what the New York Post has to say about Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci walked back his comment that the U.S. was no longer in the pandemic phase of COVID-19, the latest jumbled messaging for President Biden's chief medical advisor on the coronavirus. Biden administration officials and Fauci were scrambling Wednesday to emphasize that the country is still in the midst of a pandemic and that emergency measures are still needed after Fauci told PBS the precise opposite. Here we are, it's the end of April, it's the spring of 2022. How close are we to the end of the pandemic? Judy Woodruff of PBS NewsHour asked Fauci on Tuesday. We are certainly right now in this country out of the pandemic phase, Fauci replied. Namely, we don't have 900,000 new infections per day. That's the thing. It's not as bad. It's not literally the worst we've ever had. We're not constantly breaking records for mass death and suffering. Therefore, it's not a concern. This binary thinking. A lot of people are plagued by binary thinking. Like the right is plagued by this. Oh, it's got a 99% survival rate. Yeah, and now we're finding out 40 to 50% of people that survive getting COVID have some form of long COVID, which is going to be a debilitating disease for the rest of their life in most cases. But at least you survived. The binary. Do you die or do you live perfectly and your life is magical for the rest of your life? There's no middle ground. There's no, well, you didn't die, but now you're disabled for the rest of your life. There's no middle ground. No. It's either you die or you're literally immortal and you will live forever. This is the world the right lives in. Because they're fucking stupid. Kind of looks like an old Adolf Hitler here. Look at that. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying like that. The haircut there, not looking so great. But so if you're saying, are we out of the pandemic? So you're saying, are we out of the pandemic phase in this country? We are, he added. A day later, after his comments made headlines worse, Fauci was singing a different tune. Oh, shocking. We are in a different moment of the pandemic, Fauci told the Associated Press on Wednesday. The U.S. had decelerated and transitioned into more of a controlled phase after a winter surge, he added. By no means does this mean the pandemic is over, Fauci said in his 180-degree turnabout. I like that word, turnabout. He told the Washington Post Wednesday, the world is still in a pandemic. There's no doubt about that. Don't anybody get any misinterpretation of that. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki fielded a question during your daily press briefing over why emergency measures are still needed if the pandemic phase is over. Well, what Dr. Fauci was saying is we are in a different phase of the pandemic and that, again, these are all bullshit peddlers. So we're not in the pandemic and that's why all the mask mandates are going away. Okay. Now we are back in the pandemic. Well, then why are the mask mandates going away? You ask Psaki. Oh, so so Fauci says we're in a pandemic, but why are the mask mandates going away? And then Psaki is saying, well, the mask mandates going away is good, right? Because fuck America, they should die. Let's get as many people as sick as possible. But we're also still in a different phase of the pandemic. One where you can freely get infected and get a disease for the rest of your life that's going to cause debilitating mental and neurological issues for the rest of your life on this planet. Or, no, I'm just kidding. This is the only option as far as the Biden administration is concerned. We also know COVID isn't over and the pandemic isn't over. Didn't Biden declare victory from COVID on the State of the Union? Does anyone remember that? I remember that happening. People are still getting sick from COVID, and we have measures that we should all continue to take to protect ourselves. Notice the language here. We have measures, she's speaking on behalf of the government here, that we should all continue to take to protect ourselves. So she starts off speaking on behalf of the government, right? We have measures, right? But then, because she is by de facto speaking on behalf of the government. But then it's clear that this whole quote is a personal responsibility argument. Yeah, sure, the government doesn't say that we should wear a mask, but we should anyway. We should all get our vaccines and wear our masks, and then it will go away, it will disappear. No, wait, that's not how it works. You're in the government, you're in the White House. You craft fucking policy. You say, oh, this is a high transmission area, let's do a 2-week shutdown. Oh, this is your job to coordinate national policy. That's your job. That's your job. We're doing our job. We are following the rules, wearing masks, get our vaccinations. Now, how about you do your fucking job? That's the thing that's crazy about this. That's what's fucking nuts about this. It's a personal responsibility argument, except everyone else is personally responsible except for me. Like, she is making a personal responsibility argument while she is working for the government that is supposed to be personally responsible for handling the pandemic, and they're not doing it. So Joe Biden's personal responsibility, sorry, what? Dr. Fauci's personal responsibility? Huh? But everyone else in America, they gotta be personally responsible. Everyone else in this country, they gotta go to work and do their jobs. Me? I don't feel like doing my fucking job. What? What? We're the White House? We're the government? We're supposed to coordinate policy for effective health of the country? Nah. The CDC? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention? We're supposed to control and prevent disease? Fuck that. You gotta go work at Wendy's. You gotta make me a burger. You gotta work at Subway, make me a sandwich, you fucking peasant. You fucking little prick. You fucking loser. You gotta work at that car wash. You gotta make my car look beautiful. I work at the CDC. I don't gotta do anything, bro. I'm just coasting. Huh? So you're telling me the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they are not personally responsible to control or prevent disease? The White House, the U.S. government, is not personally responsible to, I don't know, maybe curb this inflation crisis, at least for something. Maybe give Americans some more stimulus checks, child tax credits, maybe get them out of the fucking impoverished conditions that we're living in. I don't know, maybe control the fucking disaster pandemic. I love how liberals would make fun of Trump doing golf during Trump's term in office. Biden, what is he doing? He's not able to play golf. He's just taking naps at the Resolute desk and no one's doing anything. He's saying, all right, I'm going to take a nap. You do everything. Just picking like some random assistant. And then they just pretend you never said that. And then everyone's asleep at their job. Like, how many people work at the White House? Like, I'm going to look this up. How many people work at the White House? 6,000 people work at the White House. How many people work at the CDC? Among its 369 employees. Apparently 369? That seems low. I don't know. My point is, so about 7,300 people that work for the White House and the CDC, they don't have to do their jobs. How much money are they making, by the way? What is their salary? How much money are they stealing from us to do nothing? Imagine you walk into Wendy's and you say, oh, can I get some spicy chicken nuggets? And then the person is like, nah. And then you say, oh, well, here's the money. My bad. And then they take the money and then they go in the back room and take a nap. Don't really feel like it. You ring the bell. Do they have a bell at Wendy's? I don't know. You ring the bell. Bing, bing, bing. Can I get my nuggies? Ask me in a year. And then you come back a year later. If you want nuggies, vote for someone else. And then someone runs. Someone comes in and is like, all right, I'm going to get you your nuggies. All you got to do is give me more money and vote for me. I'll get you the fucking nuggies, bro. Let's do it. Let's get it done. And then so you vote for this guy. You give them a shitload of money. And then you walk into Wendy's. You plant your $5 down. You're thinking, I'm going to get a $5 box. And is that at Wendy's? I don't know. I don't eat fast food. And then I'm going to get some nuggies. And then the guy you voted for, the guy you campaigned for, takes your money, yawns, and then goes in and takes a nap in the back room. That's what we're dealing with. We're paying all these motherfuckers to do a job, and they refuse to do so, and they're laughing about it to our face. They're saying, fuck you, fuck your health, fuck your safety, fuck your protection, fuck your right to clean water, fuck your right to clean air, fuck your right to food, fuck your right to safe travel, fuck your right to even talk to your neighbor, fuck your rights, fuck you, go fuck yourself. That's what the White House's COVID policy is. That's what Dr. Fauci's COVID policy is. These people are fucking failures. But again, the White House has some ability to do some other stuff. I'm going to talk about this next. We're going to be fighting disinformation. I wonder how that's going to go. How about you fight the fucking pandemic? My point is, they're fucking garbage. Why does there is no such thing as a president. We don't have a president. There is no president. There is no White House. There is no government. It's made up. It's made up. This is made up. If we had a government, wouldn't they do something? They're all just kind of sitting around, collecting paychecks, our money, stealing our money, and just hoping we don't do anything about it. That's what they're doing. That's the White House. That's the CDC. That's the fucking Senate. That's the fucking House. That's the U.S. government. They are just, it's the biggest scam in the history of the fucking world. They sit back, steal all of our money, fuck us in the ass, and not in the good way. They're doing it in like the, the weird sicko kind of like, rape kind of way, right? They're just fucking us over and over, and then they say, you die in the pandemic, then we don't even have to fuck you anymore. We can kill you from our, we can take a nap and kill you motherfuckers now. I love COVID. That's what they're saying. It's garbage.